This conference will now be recorded.
Can you please mute your mic, please? Shall we start the session?
Yes, ma'am.
So today's topic is, please don't give your attendance in your chat boxes. I'll ask you to give, then you people can give your attendance. Okay? So today's topic is hypertensive retinopathy. You know, hypertension is a systemic disease. So this hypertension will have some effect on other parts of the body also. And hypertensive retinopathy is one of the things that it causes damage to the retina. Okay, so what happens in hypertensive retinopathy? Okay, you can see some changes in the retina when there is very high hypertension. But the thing is that the patient usually will be asymptomatic. Unless macular area is involved, the patient will be asymptomatic. Okay, so the thing is that you will see some fundus changes when the patient is severe hypertensive. So what are the different types of changes you see? You can see retinopathy, you can see choroidopathy, and you can see optic neuropathy. So because of hypertension, retina, choroid, and optic disc gets involved. Okay, so so what is the pathogenesis? So there is should be some reason why it goes and affects the fundus or retina or choroid or the optic disc. So there will be vasoconstriction, there will be atherosclerotic changes, there will be increased vascular permeability. So you have to write this part in your answer sheets when you when hypertension retinopathy. So the pathogenesis, there are 3 points. Okay. So what happens? This is the pathophysiology. You can take it as a flowchart. It will be easy for you to write in your exams. So what happens when there is systemic chronic hypertension? There will be arteriosclerosis, followed by, because of there is this arteriosclerosis, there will be narrowing of the retinal arterioles. So once there is narrowing of the retinal arterioles, there will be decreased blood supply to the retina, which leads to ischemia. You know, this is normal pathophysiology. Wherever you go, there is ischemia, there will be hypoxia. So what happens? There will be increased capillary permeability. So when there is increased capillary permeability, there will be retinal edema, hemorrhages, cotton wool spots, and hard X-rays. So these are all the things you see in the retina. First thing is edema, cotton wool spots, hemorrhages, and hard X-rays. Okay, so this is the pathophysiology of hypertensive retinopathy. So there are two types of hypertensive retinopathy clinically. Okay, so chronic hypertensive retinopathy or second one is malignant or acute hypertensive retinopathy. So these two types are there clinically. So coming to the first one, chronic hypertensive retinopathy. Usually the patient will be asymptomatic. I told you the patient will be asymptomatic unless you see, if you ask a history that you have any hypertension, if the patient says yes, and for some other reason not to see any hypertensive changes, if you see the retina only, then only you will know, then only the patient will also will know that some changes are there because of hypertension in his retina. Okay, so these one again is divided into hypertension with involutionary or senile sclerosis, usually seen in patients more than 50 years of age who are having hypertension. Okay, so there will be, so the changes, there will be atherosclerotic retinopathy. And the second type is chronic hypertension with compensatory arteriolar sclerosis. These two types come under, 1 second. Sorry for the students. So the second type is chronic hypertension with compensatory arteriolar sclerosis. So this is seen in young individuals. Okay, so they will be proliferative and fibrous changes when they are young. Okay, so they are usually seen in patients with chronic glomerulonephritis. Okay, so also known as albuminuric or renal retinopathy. Always remember, if there is any compensatory arteriosclerosis, then it is usually related to kidneys. Okay, so this is usually seen in young individuals. Okay, so you know that this is a normal fundus. Here is the optic disc. This is the optic cup. Okay, these are arteries you can see here, and this is the vein which is very bright. And here is the fovea. This is the macula, the central one. Sorry, and that one is the fovea. So what fundus changes you see? Because you have now to know what is normal fundus. There will be narrowing of the arteries. Here you can see very thin arteries near the arrow, just where I am passing the cursor. Here you can see the arteries will be thinned out. This artery which is coming here, it got thinned out like this. Okay. AV nicking will be there, which is hallmark of hypertensive retinopathy. Here you can see arteriovenous nicking. You can see arteries and venous, there will be a small dip here. Nick will be there here. So this is called as AV nicking, means arteriovenous nicking will be there. So one more thing, there are few signs which are very hallmark of hypertensive retinopathy. That one is Salus sign, deflection of the veins at AV crossings. Okay, you can see, sorry, here you can see there is AV crossing here. You can see here the vein is getting deflected to the different way. Here you can see till now here it is one path, and from here it will change its path. So there will be deflection of the AV crossings, deflection of the veins at the AV crossings. You have to know all these signs. They are very important. They'll ask you in Viva. So when there is deflection, then it is Salus sign. Okay, next one is Bonnet sign, banking of veins distal to AV crossings. So there will be banking of vein distals. I couldn't get that picture because it's not here, so I couldn't get that picture. And next one is gun sign, tapering of the veins on either side of crossing. If you can see here it is a diagrammatic picture. Here this is the artery and this is the vein. Here there will be tapering. You can see how the vein is beneath the artery. There will be vein, but there will be tapering of the vein either crossings, either on either side of the crossing of the arteries and veins. Okay, so the three signs are Salus sign, Bonnet sign, and gun sign. So one more thing is there will be reflex. There will be arteriolar reflex. There will be reflex from the arteries. Okay. So normally how the reflex will be? It will be bright, thin, and linear reflex. But in hypertensive retinopathy, the reflex will not be thin. It will be a diffuse reflex and it is less brighter when compared to the normal. So there will be copper wiring and silver wiring. I'll let you know what are these copper wiring and silver wiring. So arteriolar reflexes, we see these types of changes. So in grade 1 and grade 2, there will be diffuse and less bright reflex. And there will be further in grade 3, there will be copper wiring, and grade 4, there will be silver wiring. What is this copper and silver wiring? I'll tell you later. So regarding arteriolar reflexes, these are the changes we see. Okay, you can see superficial retinal hemorrhages. Always remember in hypertensive retinopathy, what you see is superficial retinal hemorrhages. These are also called as flame-shaped hemorrhages. You know retinal nerve fiber layer. So at that level, at retinal nerve fiber layer level, there will be hemorrhage. So this blood will follow the contour of the retinal nerve fiber layer. So there will be like a flame-shaped hemorrhage. Here you can see these hemorrhages. They are not dot-like. They are, like flame, they are flame shaped, they will be like flame shaped hemorrhages. You can see hard X-rays, here are the hard X-rays, and these whitish dots are the cotton wool spots. Here you can see there will be clumpy, these are cotton wool spots, and these by bright white color ones are hard X-rays, and these are all flame shaped hemorrhages. Okay, so these are all what you see in hypertensive retinopathy. Now coming to malignant hypertension, the second type, which is also acute hypertension, also called as acute hypertension. There will be rapid progression of the hypertensive state in a patient with relatively young arterioles. Okay, so in these patients, you can see all retinopathy, choroidopathy, and optic neuropathy. All these things will be there. So usually associated with renal diseases, there will be renal insufficiency. So here you can see malignant hypertension. So this pathognomic of malignant hypertension is that you'll have a macular star. Here you can see in the center you can have a dot, and from here you have a lines like this, like a star. So these stars, these are all exudates. These exudates will form around the macula like a star. Here also you can see these bright lines like this. These exudates will go and form a macular star. Okay, and you can see you're not able to see the disc very promptly. It's not very clear. So there will be disc edema. There will be disc edema along with macular star. Near the macula, you can see hard exudates like this. And as usual, you can see these are all cotton wool spots, and these small things are here. You can see these small things are plane shaped hemorrhages. And sometimes you can see pulsating vessels also in malignant hypertension or acute hypertension, retinopathy. Okay, you can see pulsations also. Okay. So now coming to, this is all about retinopathy. Now coming to choroidopathy. There are two things which we see in hypertensive choroidopathy. This is a Viva question for you people. Usually in Viva they will ask what is hypertensive choroidopathy, what types you see in hypertensive retinopathy. So the first one is Elchin spots. They are focal areas, infarcted retinal pigment epithelium. Okay, and the second one is Seagert's streaks. See, you can see streaks like in here, like this lines like streaks like you can see. Okay, so this is fibrinoid necrosis, and you can see spots here, Elchin spots. These are Elchin spots. Okay, there will be infarction, retinal pigment epithelial infarction will be there at certain areas which appear as Elchin spots. So always remember, for choroidopathy there are two types, Elchin spots and Seager streaks. Okay, so coming to classification of hypertensive retinopathy, there is a Keith-Wagner classification which is very important. So in Keith-Wagner, what we see, you can see grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. Okay. So grade 1, you can see mild arteriolar attenuation. Okay, there will be attenuation of the arteries, broadening of the arterial right reflex. I told you the normal right reflex will be narrow, thin, and very bright, but there will be broadening of the arteriolar reflex starts at stage 1, and there will be beam concealment. Okay, this is what you see in all grade 1. So coming to grade 2, there will be marked generalized and narrowing and focal attenuation of the arterioles. There will be attenuation of the arterioles. Okay. Now coming to, say, in grade 2, I told you that we will see Charles sign, deflection of veins at AV crossing. There will be deflection of vein at AV crossing. Here you can see this one. There is deflection of vein. This is the vein. There is deflection of the vein at AV crossing. Okay. And coming to grade 3. In grade 2, we see only of the above 3 signs, we see only Salu sign in grade 2. Always remember grade 2 Salu sign. And grade 3, we see bonnet sign and gun sign along with all the other features. Okay. So bonnet sign, banking of distal veins at AV crossings. You can see this is the AV crossing. There will be banking of the veins. Gun sign, tapering of the veins. Here you can see, here this part is this got tapered, and here also this one got tapered. See, this is vein and this is artery. There is AV crossing. Here you can see tapering of the veins. So tapering of the veins, there is gun sign. Okay, bonnet sign, banking. You can remember as BB. Bonnet sign, banking. Gun sign, tapering. Salu sign, deflection of the vein will be there. Okay, so in grade 3, we see copper wiring of the arterioles. Along with that, we see plane shaped hemorrhage, cotton wool spots, hard exudates. These all things will start only at grade 3. Okay, so if you see all these things, you can say that this is grade 3. In grade 4, what we will see, along with grade 3 changes, that is flame shaped hemorrhages, cotton wool spots, hard exudates, bonnet sign, gun sign, or along with this, you will see silver wiring of the arterioles. Why these colors, silver wiring and copper wiring? This all depends upon the brightness of the arteriolar right reflex. Okay, if it is copper wiring, then it will be a brownish tinge light. If it is silver wiring, it will become more thinner and less brighter when compared to normal reflex. Okay, so copper wiring and silver wiring, these are related to the arteriolar right reflex. Okay, so you can see silver wiring, and the most important thing is that you see the papilla edema in grade 4. So features of grade 4 include features of grade 3. Along with that, instead of copper wiring, you will have silver wiring. Along with that, you will have papilledema. Okay, you can see the disc margins are blurred here, and the disc is hyperemic. Okay, there is no cup disc where the obliteration is there. There is no cup disc differences. You can see here flame-shaped hemorrhages are there. Here you can see macular star. Yes, this is macular star. These are all hard exudates. And you can see cotton wool spots also. And you see here you can see cotton wool spots. These are cotton wool spots. So these are all the features what we see in grade 3, grade 5 according to Kitt-Wegener class. So there are some other classifications like SPE classification. Okay, now many people are following SPE classification. Okay, so staging under the system is as follows. So depending upon the retinal abnormalities and depending upon the right reflex changes, they are getting into two stages. So stage stage 0, the patient is hypertensive but no retinal abnormalities. Stage 1, you can see diffuse arteriolar narrowing, but there is no focal constriction of the arteries. Stage 2, more pronounced narrowing with focal constriction. So at stage 2, we can see in this we'll have from stage 0, but in Kitt-Wegener we'll start the stages will start from stage 1. Okay, stage 3, focal and diffuse narrowing. Both the vessels will get diffuse narrowing with retinal hemorrhages. So in stage 3, we will see retinal hemorrhages. In stage 4, retinal edema, hard exudates, and optic disc edema. This is regarding the retinal abnormalities. Under classification is depending upon the right reflex changes. So grade 0, normal. Grade 1, broadening of right reflex. Grade 2, right reflex changes are present and crossing changes are more prominent. Grade 3, copper wiring, and grade 4, silver wiring. Okay. So how do you manage a case with hypertensive retinopathy? So mild hypertensive retinopathy, ask the patient to control the BP and come for regular follow-up for every 3 months or 4 months depending upon the patient's status. And a moderate hypertensive retinopathy along with BP control, you can ask the patient to get their cholesterol levels checked and give some anti-hyperlipidemic drugs. Okay. So accelerated hypertension, you ask anti-hypertensive management and control of BP over, you also have to admit the patient and ask the patient to get control his BP. Unless macular edema is there or retinal edema is there, never interfere with the case of hypertensive retinopathy with any lesions or any anti-VEGF, except ask the patient to control the hypertension and regular follow-up. Once there is macular edema or retinal edema, then only give some anti-VEGF or some laser, whatever you want. Then only intervene with the patient with hypertensive retinopathy. Okay, so retinopathy in pediatrics, that is pregnancy induced hypertensive retinopathy, which is very important in pregnant patients who are having eclampsia and preeclampsia. So BP, if it is more than 160 by 100 or more than 200 by 130, narrowing of the, you can see how the disc is, there will be blurred, these hard exudates, you can see here, these are all flame-shaped hemorrhages. Okay, here also you can see down. See how there is attenuation of this broadening of the veins. You can see here. Okay, so you can see cotton wool spots, retinal hemorrhages, which are all related to retinal hypoxia, and also you see macular star in these cases. Okay. So management, usually changes will disappear after delivery, usually. But in a pre-organic stage, there will be conservative treatment. Pregnancy is continued under close observation. Okay. If there is hypoxic retinopathy, like you see all cotton wool spots, hemorrhages, edema, everything if you see. So indication for termination of pregnancy, otherwise permanent visual loss will occur. If you see all these things in the initial phases only, like when first trimester or second trimester, like when 4th or 5th month like that, you have to terminate the pregnancy. Otherwise, the patient will have complete loss of vision. Okay. So thank you so much for your attention. Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
So okay, I'll ask some questions. Are you people ready with that? Okay. Anyway, if you're not ready also, I'll ask you some questions. So what are the various classifications you know, member? One second. Number 2. Who is number 2? Is number 2 available? No. Number 57. Number 57.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you tell me what are the two types of classifications you know with hypertension and hypertension? You just tell the names. I tell the three types.
Chronic, chronic and
No, I asked
malignant.
about the classification. I'm asking about classification. There are two types of classification.
Kate and Wegener's classification.
Yes.
Key's classification.
So in what stage? Stage number 50. Number 50. Number 56. Number 56. Number 55. Number 70. Number 70. Number 150.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me which grade do you see supervising in Kit Wagner classification? Which grade you see supervising?
Grade 3.
In which grade? Okay, tell me various sciences, not you. Number 112. Number 112.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me three signs you see in hypertension and sympathy in Kit Wagner classification. You know or you don't know?
Barnett sign, ma'am.
Hmm.
Cotton wool spots.
I asked about signs. There are three signs. One is bonnet. What are the other two signs?
Gun sign and Salus sign, ma'am.
Very good.
Bonnet sign, gun sign, and Salus sign.
Okay. Number 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what is bonnet sign?
Banking of veins distal to AV crossings.
Okay. Very good. Number 108. Number 108.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me some other fundus
Yes,
changes?
ma'am.
Hypertension retinopathy. Fundus changes. I don't want any grading on that. Just tell me few fundus changes.
Flame-shaped hemorrhages,
Okay.
cotton wool spots,
Hmm.
hard exudates,
Very good. Okay. Good. And number 72. Number 72. Number 151.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you tell me two features what you see in hypertensive choroidopathy? Some spots are there. Some streaks are there. Number 5. Number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you tell me choroidal, hypertensive choroidopathy features? Two features are there, two types are there.
Elatching spots.
What spots? Ilachi spot. Okay.
Tigress streaks, ma'am.
Eagert, there's no tigers. Eagert streaks and Elching's spots. What are the, where do we see some other Elching's spots? Okay, number 127.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in malignant hypertension, what is the pathognomic of malignant hypertension in retina?
Cartoons or
No,
occlusion of veins.
near the macula it will be. What is that? So number 103.
Macula starlight.
Oh, okay. Number 103. Number 142. One 142. 103. Number 18.
Yes,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
18. 18.
Yes, ma'am. 18.
So what is the cause of visual loss in cases of hypertensive retinopathy? When the vision decreases, which part should get involved if the patient?
Hello, ma'am. Can you
Yeah,
repeat the question, ma'am?
yeah. If the patient comes to you with decreased vision with hypertensive retinopathy, what does it mean? Which part of the retina got involved? Usually, the patient will be asymptomatic, right, in hypertensive retinopathy. But if the patient comes to you with decreased vision, what could be the reason?
Retinal artery occlusion.
That is central retinal artery occlusion you're seeing in the previous slide. Okay. So there is something like, okay, I'll ask the next question. Number 25. Number
Ma'am.
25.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Present.
Yeah, yeah. If the patient comes to you with decreased vision with hypertensive retinopathy changes, what does it mean? Usually the patient is asymptomatic. The patient comes to you with decreased vision. So which part of the retina is involved in? Okay. Number 26.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the Keith Wagner classification? Stage 5 consists of what are all the features? Grade 5. Sorry, grade 4.
Ma'am.
In grade 4, what are all the features you see in hypertensive retinopathy?
Silver wiring of arterioles.
Hmm.
Mm.
ఇంకా అంతేనా?
Papillary, ma'am.
I'm asking about grade 4 papillary silver lining. What are all the other features you see? So along with grade 3 features, you see this, right? What are the grade 3 features? You're supposed to tell all those things, right? Okay. Now
Retinal.
you can give your attendance in the next 2 minutes. Whoever gives attendance in the next 2 minutes, they'll get the attendance. Yeah. One more thing I just want to tell you is I want to take feedback regarding my classes. So in the next class, in the class before the class starts, I'll just ask you. You can just give your feedback in the chat box, okay? Because just not to be let you know, I just want to improve myself. That's the reason. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think now I'll end the session. So if you gave your attendance,